Shalom. Call halal Yahweh Bashem Abishai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. To the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners, and to the Akwath that are listening and learning, to you I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm coming at you with another lesson in truth. And the inspiration for this video is a scripture that the elder Yashawamba brought out in a lesson that he did earlier. That Exodus Numbers 24 and 20. So let's get that. So Salakia. There we go. And it reads, "And when he looked on Amalek, he took up his parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he perish forever." And that can be found in Obadiah. All right, you know Obadiah basically breaks it all down. All right, but it also tells you that word there, first of the nations. When you look that word up, it the word there in Hebrew is Rashiath. All right, Rashiath, and basically it means first world chief. Now thinking about that, what it's saying is that they will be in control. They will be the head of the nations, the first of all people in this first world. This first world. That's why it says the first world. So as a matter of fact, let's go to Second Ezra, Salakia. Know what I just did? Hit some buttons or something. Salakia. Oh well, we just switched the music. It's all good. Let's go to Second Ezra, the 6th chapter. And the 7th verse, and it reads, "Then answered I and said, What shall be the parting asunder of times? Or when shall be the end of the first?" See, that's that first world, the end of the world that is being ruled over by Amalek. All right, or you get that term Amalekite. All right, and then we all know, what the Germans used to call the imposters. Okay, that K word. So it says, "Then answered I and said, What shall be the parting asunder of the times, or when shall be the end of the first, and the beginning of it that follows? And he said unto me, From Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born, of him Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau." All right, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So that made that scripture have even more power and understanding, because that Rashiath in Numbers 24 and 20 makes it clear that Amalek is the dominion rule, has the rule over all the earth right now. And that's what, and hey, isn't that what Ice Cube said? Isn't that what Nick Cannon said? And yet they're in denial, but it's beyond true, because they rule over even the other Edomites. The rest of E has suffered under this rule. Because why? Because they left them out of the blessing. Speaking of which, let's go to the blessing. All right, they're the first, they're the chief of the nations. So let's go to that blessing. So let's go to Genesis, Salakia 27, and let's start about verse 38. And it reads, and Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and the dew of heaven above. All right, and by the sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, and thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And that was when Alexander of Macedon got in control over the earth. The Edomites got complete dominion over the earth until the fall of Rome. All right, they fell during the Dark Ages. The Israelites, Negroes, rose up and ruled the earth for almost 1,000 years. The evidence of that is insurmountable. And the Moors were a part of that, because the Moors were Israelites, even though they were claiming Islam. All right, but that's in secular history easy. You know, the Moors had a 700-year rule. Okay, they fell in 1492, and that's when Christopher Columbus sailed. He sailed in 1492 at the fall. You know, after the fall of the Moors, who were Israelites. All right, verse 41. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning of my father are at hand. Then I shall slay my brother Jacob. And as soon as Esau came back into power and during the Renaissance and got dominion over the earth and over Jacob, he changed and hid the history. He fabricated history. He used newspeak and changed the meaning of words. And he's lived in the fatness of the earth, and took his place as the first of the nations. And then Amalek took his place as the first among the wicked. Because, hey, it doesn't say in Job 9 and 24. Let's go to Job. All right. Go to the book of Job, verse 9 and 24. And it reads, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? See, so when Esau came into power, they covered up the faces of the judges, and they've been saying that they're the judges, they're the chosen, they're the Israelites. Yep. But remember, the last part of Israeli is lie. That's the last two letters. It comes out. That word is pronounced what? Lie. Okay, because they are not. Okay. Let's go to Jeremiah 14 and 2 now. All right. Jeremiah, not 14 and 2, 49 and 10. I don't know why I said 14 and 2. 49 and 10. And it reads, but I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, his brethren, and his neighbors, and he is not. And see, and we're at the end of Esau, because now he's known. Because he's been hiding under all these aliases over the centuries, and as of lately, he's been referring to himself as white and Caucasian, and he even referred to himself as Israeli or Jewish. All right, which he is neither. Let's go to the people that plotted against the Lord and against the Lord's people. That King David spoke about them in the book of Psalms, Psalms 83, and let's see. Psalms 83 and 1. Keep not thy silence, O power, hold not thy peace, and be not still. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. Who are the hidden ones? The Israelites. All right? Does not the Apocrypha mean to be sent away hidden? You know, the scripture about the Israelites says they are not known in the streets. They are not known. All right, why? Because because they're being called by bywords. All right. Verse 4. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against these. The tabernacles of Edom right? So all of the Edomites and the Ishmaelites, those are other, and these are all Shemitic people. This first place, all right. This because Edom is Shemitic, Ishmael is Shemitic, and then it says Moab, and of Moab also Shemitic, and of the Hagarenes also Shemitic that come from Hagar, all right. And Gabal and Ammon, all right. Ammon being also Shemitic. Ammon is another one of Lot's sons out of the same people that Abraham came out of as Moab, right? And then Amalek, all right, who is the chief, the first of the nations. That's Esau again, because Amalek is the head of Esau, Edom, all right? The Philistines, all right, those are them Hamites, all right, and the inhabitants of Tyre, also Hamites, and Ashur, also other Shemitic people, all right? So it tells you, but the point being, in verse 7, it says in Amalek, all right? In verse 6, it says of Edom. And what was Edom again? The first of the nations, all right? The chief. And Edom had dominion over the first world, whose face was on the now losing its luster and power, first world reserve currency. Edomites, who owns the printing presses and all the things that printed up all that money that has those faces on it. Amalek. All right? The Jewish people are Amalek. They're Amalekites. All right? Point blank period. The Rothschilds are Amalek. As a matter of fact, the very name Rothschild means red shield. Right? It means red shield. And like I said in the previous video, they're going to go back to being bowers. Back to bowing down, taking a knee, and being servants. Let's see if I can find a quick precept for that. This is I think it's right, this is Revelation 3 and 9. It says, behold, I will make them the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come worship before thy feet, and know that I have loved thee. So they're going to be forced to admit who they are. They're going to bow down to the true people of the Lord, man. They're going to take a knee. Point blank period. So with that, now I hope this was a edifying video, and that you know that the elect learned something and got edified, and that the condemned got condemned and are in horror. All right. I hope you don't sleep well. Hope you have bad dreams and nightmares, because your end is near. All right. It's all the party is almost over. Call Halal Yahweh Bashem Abashai, Bahashem Rakakadash, Wa Abba Baba, and Shalom.